winner of the New Jersey Press Association's Most Innovative Award.
Welcome back to Greater Media Broadcast News. I'm Suzy Shia, and I've got the headlines you need to know. Here's what's going on in your neighborhood. Drug ring, Sleepy Hollow, new home for Trinity Hall, Long Branch Poet Laureate, and the upcoming elections. Nearly 24 suspects are facing charges of narcotics distribution in central New Jersey. This took place after federal authorities converged on local towns to take down what has been described as a major heroin and cocaine ring. 14 of the suspects were arrested on October 16th, while several other suspects remained at large. Those arrested include the alleged ringleader, Herv Cadet, a 29-year-old resident of Sayreville and Neptune. Authorities said the organization was responsible for the distribution of sizable quantities of illegal drugs distributed on the streets of Monmouth, Middlesex, and Ocean counties. And here's Mark Rossman with more headlines.
Colts Neck residents are paying close attention to a plan that is under discussion by the Township's Board of Education. Enrollment in the Colts Neck K-8 school district has been declining for several years. Numbers presented at a recent board meeting indicate that enrollment will shrink from about 950 students this year to about 920 students in the 2015-16 school year. With that in mind, the board has raised the possibility of closing the Conover Road Elementary School and dividing the district's students among the Conover Road Primary School and the Cedar Drive Middle School. The board's architect has suggested that the primary school could house pupils in pre-kindergarten through 4th grade and that the middle school could become a school for 5th through 8th graders. Residents have been asking for specific information relating to the monetary savings the board expects to achieve by closing the school. To this point, the board has not been able to answer those questions. For more about this issue, see this week's edition of the News Transcript.
A teen pianist who has performed 4 times at Carnegie Hall is coming to Howell. Here's Taylor Lear.
On November 1st, Howell resident Teresa No will showcase her talents in the piano at a classical music concert. The concert will be from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Howell Public Library. A junior at Biotechnology High School, Teresa began playing piano at just 8 years old. When her family was relocated to Paris, France, due to her father's job, Teresa took lessons abroad for 2 years. After coming back to the U.S., the 16-year-old continued her studies and in 2010 participated in her first Piano Teachers Society of America competition. At the competition, Teresa placed second among 120 students. Winners of this competition have the opportunity to perform at Carnegie Hall in New York City, which Teresa has done for the past 4 years. The young piano player is looking forward to her performance at the library and participating in more competitions in the future.
And here's a roundup of headlines you need to know. It would take more than a century to fill retail space along the Route 18 corridor. That's what local real estate professionals say, and officials are looking for ways to reduce the 12% commercial vacancy rate in the township. Long Branch has named its first poet laureate. Emmanuel D. Pascal has written 16 books of poetry and is an English professor at Middlesex County College. He has called Long Branch home for the past 25 years. Rock Country Radio is issuing a heads up, or more appropriately, a heads off, for its upcoming stage radio play based on Washington Irving's classic ghost story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. The show is set for October 26th and 30th in Metuchen. Local elections are coming up, and we've got the scoop on the candidates for your municipal and school boards. Check your Greater Media newspaper for interviews with your potential leaders. And now let's see what's happening in the local sports scene.
Well, the Rutgers football team looks to rebound from a thumping at the hands of Ohio State this past weekend in its first ever Big Ten road game in a similar environment in Lincoln, Nebraska against the Cornhuskers in front of about another 100,000 plus fans. And while players and coaches will say, you know what, there were some mistakes we made that are correctable in that 56-17 loss to the Buckeyes, I say it goes a little deeper than missed tackles and blown assignments. Look, it's not to say the Rutgers program is in any dire straits right now. You don't go 5-1 to start the season with a bad football team. I don't care what league you're in. Bottom line is this: if Rutgers is going to beat teams like Ohio State, it's not going to do it on Saturdays in the fall. It's going to do it in February. February is National Letter of Intent signing days, because this is not about X's and O's for the Scarlet Knights. This is about competing in a league that's another step up. Ohio State is so deep. When they lose their Heisman hopeful quarterback in the preseason, they bring in another guy, a redshirt freshman, J.T. Barrett, and he could mount his own Minor campaigned for the award himself. So it's going to be about recruiting for the Scarlet Knights, and that takes time. It's like when Rutgers didn't have the horses to compete against the Miamis or Virginia Techs of the world when they were in the Big East. Same thing. It's going to take time to compete with the Ohio States and maybe the Nebraskas of the world. I'm Mike Pavlichko on 1450 WCTC and WCTCAM.com.
You might ask how a tie can become a victory? The answer, when it brings you a championship. That was the case last week for two Freehold High School varsity teams, girls soccer and field hockey. They both captured Shore Conference A North Division titles after playing their old crosstown rivals Freehold Township to a tie in each case. In both games, Freehold Township came into them needing a victory over Freehold to win a championship. A tie wouldn't be enough. On the soccer pitch, Freehold's Lindsay Serio scored the first of the Colonials' 2 goals in this 2-2 tie that kept them ahead of the Patriots in the standings. Both keepers played well, but needed some help from their defensive teammates to prevent further damage. Freehold Township displayed the patient passing game that helped them play their rivals to a draw and forced the Colonials to beat Manalapan in the regular season finale, which the Colonials did, securing the championship. No doubt these two teams will meet again come postseason time.
Sir, that's got to be a penalty.
For a game that ended in a scoreless tie, there was plenty of end-to-end action when Freehold in blue and Freehold Township in his home white played for the Field Hockey Division Championship. The two powerhouses tried in vain to find a crack in the opposing's defense. There would be scoring opportunities, but neither team could dent the others, including penalty corners. Attempts here came up empty as well. The 0-0 tie not only gave the Colonials another division championship, but it secured an unbeaten regular season. No doubt, like the soccer teams, Freehold and Freehold Township will meet again when the Shore Conference and state tournaments get underway. Tim Morris for Greater Media Newspapers.
An all-girls high school in Middletown is looking for a new home. Here's Adam Ujalko.
Trinity Hall, an all-girls high school, is searching for classroom space for the 2015-2016 school year. The school, which had a proposed site plan for a campus denied by Middletown Township's planning board, is growing beyond the confines of its temporary home at Croydon Hall. Mary Scarillo, head of Trinity Hall, said the school will continue to pursue the construction of the campus, which is currently the topic of litigation between the school and opponents. However, the school has approached the Colts Neck Board of Education to express interest in leasing space if the board decides to close down the Conover Road Elementary School. Still, Scarillo said Trinity Hall would only further engage Colts Neck if they made the determination to close the school first. For more on this developing story, see this week's issue of The Independent.
Marlboro native Paul Wesley, one of the stars of the CW's hit series The Vampire Diaries, spoke with Greater Media Newspapers about his career and plans for the future. Since the show premiered in 2009, Wesley's career has taken off in a major way, with the actor becoming a household name among the teen crowd. The Vampire Diaries is now one of the network's longest-running shows, and Wesley said he could see it ending after next season. After that, Wesley said he wants to explore the world of cable TV, as well as direct a movie of his own. To read Paul Wesley's interview with Greater Media Newspapers, visit gmnews.com.
For more in-depth coverage and additional stories, see your Greater Media newspaper today. Share your thoughts on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Greater Media Broadcast News. I'm Susie Shia. See you next time.